Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5 perfectly illustrates one of the reasons why Klingon stories work so well on Star Trek. Klingon have been a part of Star Trek since 1967 when the Star Trek, the original series episode Errand of Mercy first aired. At this time, the Klingon were enemies of the United Federation of Planets, and Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner, faced the Klingon numerous times. In Star Trek, The Next Generation's 24th century era, however, the Klingon had become allies with the Federation. The presence of Lieutenant Worf, Michael Dorn, among the crew of the USS Enterprise D gave Star Trek, The Next Generation the chance to dive deeper into Klingon culture. In TNG Season 2, Episode 8, A Matter of Honor, for example, Commander William Riker, Jonathan Frakes, spends time on a Klingon ship as part of an officer exchange program. The next season, in TNG Season 3, Episode 17, Sins of the Father, the Enterprise D visits the Klingon homeworld of QoNOS to help Worf fight for his family's honor. These stories offer a glimpse into Klingon culture through the lens of Starfleet. Star Trek Lower Decks has a great Starfleet and Klingon team-up. Lower Decks Season 4, Episode 5 tells a fun Klingon story and progresses the season-long arc. In Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5, Episode 4, A Farewell to Farms, Lieutenants Beckett Mariner, Tawny Newsome, and Brad Boimler, Jack Quaid, visit QoNOS to investigate a rift in spacetime. While there, Mariner reaches out to her old friend Ma, John Curry, and offers to help him regain his captaincy. Boimler geeks out over getting into a Klingon bar fight and makes excellent use of his knowledge of Klingon culture. Mariner, Boimler, Ma, and his brother Mauler, Sam Witwer, then have to endure the rite of unending pain, which brings back the painsticks from Star Trek, The Next Generation. Star Trek Lower Decks expertly pokes fun at the Klingons' obsession with often violent rituals while also telling a solid Klingon story. Mariner and Boimler both fare well along the Klingon, finding ways to make obscure Klingon rituals work in their favor and finding loopholes when needed. A Farewell to Farms builds on the Klingon politics first established in TNG, while also offering a look at parts of QoNOS that have not been explored before. Ma and his brother make great foils for Boimler and Mariner, making every scene on QoNOS a lot of fun. Why Starfleet and Klingon are perfect odd couples. Klingon society may differ greatly from Federation society, but Klingon and Starfleet officers usually make great pairings. When Star Trek, The Next Generation's Commander Riker temporarily joined a Klingon crew in A Matter of Honor, he quickly picked up on the elements of Klingon culture he needed to emulate to fit in. It's always fun seeing a Starfleet officer like Riker embrace Klingon culture, eating their, often gross, food and treating his fellow officers the way Klingon do. Starfleet officers and Klingon have enough in common that they can recognize the similarities between their cultures, but have enough differences to keep things interesting. Star Trek, The Next Generation typically explored Klingon culture through Worf, but Captain Jean Picard, Patrick Stewart, sometimes got involved, too. Picard stepped up for Worf when his honor was questioned, studying the complexities of Klingon politics and ritual. Even a Starfleet officer as straight-laced as Picard could embrace the Klingons' brutal culture when he needed to. Star Trek, Lower Decks has always been great at telling quintessentially Star Trek stories in a hilarious and loving way, and A Farewell to Farms is another excellent example of that. But while the warlike culture of the Klingon and the idealistic exploration ethos of Starfleet have often clashed, there's something undeniably fascinating about the moments when these two mighty forces join forces, pushing their personal histories aside for the greater good. With the recent developments in the Star Trek universe, including the latest series on Paramount+, the show's writers have found a way to reintroduce one of the most exciting elements of Starfleet Klingon interactions, team-ups that blend both cultures' strengths. The best part of these new team-ups is how they manage to showcase the dynamics that have defined both factions while keeping the heart of Star Trek's optimistic, forward-thinking spirit alive. A shifting dynamic. The new era of Star Trek has been one of great experimentation, particularly with its depiction of the Klingon Empire and its interactions with the Federation. While past depictions have showcased tension and battles, especially during the Klingon War in Star Trek, Discovery, there has been a deliberate shift toward more collaborative efforts in recent installments. This transition builds on the groundwork laid in Star Trek: The Undiscovered Country, where Captain Kirk and General Chang's shared history gave way to unexpected alliances, hinting at a more cooperative future. The key to these successful team-ups lies in understanding the evolving nature of both the Klingon Empire and Starfleet. In the new generation of Star Trek storytelling, the Klingon are no longer just the bloodthirsty enemies they once were. Their society has been reshaped by internal political struggles, and many of their most powerful figures are recognizing the need for unity and diplomacy, not just strength through combat. This evolution presents a ripe opportunity for Starfleet to step in and offer a bridge, not just as peacekeepers but as partners in the larger mission to maintain galactic stability. The best of both worlds. What truly elevates the Star Trek series when it comes to Starfleet Klingon team-ups is how it balances both factions' ideals and strengths. Starfleet, with its emphasis on diplomacy, exploration, and scientific progress, serves as the perfect foil to the Klingon battle-hardened and honor-driven culture. While the Federation excels in technology, humanitarian efforts, and intelligence, the Klingon bring their unmatched strength, warrior spirit, and sheer tenacity. When these two forces come together, their complementary qualities create some of the most dynamic and exciting partnerships in Star Trek lore. Take, for example, the recent collaboration in Star Trek: Discovery, where Captain Michael Burnham teams up with a Klingon commander to solve a mutual threat. Initially, the animosity between Burnham and the Klingon officer is palpable, with both characters harboring distrust and resentment, yet as they face impossible odds, they are forced to work together. What makes this union so compelling is not just the external conflict, but the internal struggles both characters face. Burnham's Starfleet ideals clash with the Klingons' warrior code, yet in their desperation, they begin to see the value in each other's methods. This shift is poignant. Burnham learns to appreciate the Klingon commitment to honor and loyalty, while the Klingon commander comes to understand the value of mercy, diplomacy, and sacrifice. It's the perfect example of how a Starfleet Klingon alliance allows both parties to grow and transcend the stereotypes that once defined them. These relationships are about pushing boundaries, and when Starfleet and the Klingon come together, they represent the best qualities of each other. A new generation of characters.